Yeah. Welcome to the block where the real ones speak. Sports Talk 49, no cap, no weak. Real facts, strip the fluff, no spin. If it's hot in the league, yeah, we tap right in. Overreaction, yeah, we lean all in. One play, one take, let the chaos begin. From the mic to the screen, bringing truth, no fantasy. Hosted by Blake Anthony, voice of the fan, no fallacy. Fans yelling loud, opinions collide. Love it or hate it, ain't nowhere to hide. You're the master of life, how you use it is key. Sports Talk 49, now lock in with me. Yeah. Lock in with me. Yo. Welcome to the block where the real ones speak. Sports Talk 49, no cap, no weak. Real facts, strip the fluff, no spin. If it's hot in the league, yeah, we tap right in.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Blake Anthony with another episode of Sports Talk 49, always exclusively on every streaming platform there is. So let's just jump right into it. Buccaneers camp, contract disputes. Now, let's talk about everything in full circle. I want to talk about the contracts, and then I want to end on a good note talking about camps and things like that. So when we talk about these contracts, the first thing, we'll get into the easier one, Vita Vea. I don't think that they put Vita Vea and Baker Mayfield on the side of the building unless they plan on having them longer. I would hope so if that was the thing, or it was already done and they put it up anyway, because technically they're under contract. And it'd be kind of silly for the Bucs to trade Vita Vea and you just put him up on the side of the building, trying to have him as a staple for the team. That's why Baker made the comments, and Gerald's made comments about guys that are supposed to be your stars for the team, and then you treat them like castaways. There's been miscommunication with reports. With this NBA reporter talked about the contract talks have been disintegrated. I'm like, you're only talking about a 6 or 7 million pay bump. I know a lot of people aren't familiar with contracts and how everything works. Veda's already making just under 18. So all you're doing is giving him another 6 or 7 million. It's not like it's a whole new huge upgrade like you're doing Baker Mayfield or anything. It's just a couple $1 million more that they should have. I don't know if it's the years or it's the money, but I know Vita Vea is set on not playing under that deal. That's where it is. And he also didn't give a time frame. He just wants a deal to know what deal is going to get done. Baker Mayfield now, he had these things to say.
I'm here with Baker Mayfield. Baker, you've used words like disrespected, disappointed, undervalued when it comes to your contract. What value did the team place on you that made you feel that way?
It was all three, between years, average, and guarantees. Probably the most disappointing is years. Didn't get offered anything over 2, and so when you're told you're a franchise quarterback and they handle it otherwise, that's disappointing. So felt like I earned that. It's not a poor me pity party over here. It is what it is, and so that's why I said the deadline was training camp. Focused on the team, focused on getting better, and trying to give this team a better chance to win a Super Bowl.
What was the reasoning for that?
For the deadline?
Or for the number of years, or just some metrics that weren't there for
I don't know. I don't know why I wasn't there. So I can't give an explanation.
Yeah. You've said you're a franchise quarterback. You've shown that. Do you believe, and did you make a stance that you belong in that top 10 range, $50+ million? That's sort of the market and where you are.
Yeah, and I told them, I said it publicly, I was never trying to reset the market. I know where I fit in on that. I'm not over realistic on that, but it's also, I know just to be compensated, put in that category, and salary cap keeps going up. The guys that are going to re-sign next year, it's going to look a lot different. So at the end of the day, it'd probably be still right about top 15 next year this time, and but it's unfortunate they failed to recognize that.
How far away were they from that range?
Pretty far.
Yeah. Did you consider a holdout, just considering the incredible leverage a established starting quarterback would have?
No, because I know got a bad taste in my mouth from last year, and I know the potential this group has. It's still, for me, the most important thing is winning and making sure that I'm a team-first guy, and I wanted our guys to know that, and then I was dead serious about it. So never considered a hold out, hold in. I want to win ball games. I want to play with these guys. It's a special group, and that's why it feels like home.
Yeah. What reasoning did the Bucs give for not meeting you at that point, as far as sweet spot?
You'd have to ask my agent. I don't know.
We were talking about contracts and stuff like that. He said that he didn't want to talk about contracts anymore. He was done talking about it. He was adamant about it. He did the Baker Mayfield way, the fighter in him and all that stuff, and made it clear he didn't want to talk about contracts. But here you are still talking about your contract, still talking about it. So what makes me think is that you're trying to sell to the team, well, to the fans, that you want to be here, but the team doesn't want you to be here. He's trying to put everything on top of Jason Light, which kind of sort of it is him. He's the one that makes the deals and makes these decisions along, kind of probably with the owners to see what kind of, who they want to have the face of the franchise and stuff like that. I know Baker wants 4 years, but it's going to hurt the team spending $50 million on a quarterback that you're not sure that you want to be your franchise guy, and especially if he gets hurt and banged up. Like you see plays where he just takes unnecessary hits when you don't need to, and those are the kind of things that the Glazers and Todd Bowles and Jason Light are afraid of. There's been plenty of examples of him taking just unnecessary hits, lowering your shoulder while you're injured and stuff like that. We like the grit, but it's also the things that we don't like. So we've got to find some type of mid-grade on try to protect himself. Also, with the offensive line and everything like that. I'm not going to discredit that. But on the other hand, there's other teams dealing with the same thing, but yet they take care of themselves. So it's within him. He's got to learn that. You can never be too old to learn new things. That's developing as a man, as an athlete. You got to develop and become better, especially in the later years where your athletic ability dissipates when you get older. So let's go into camp a little bit here. Talking about camp battles and stuff like that. There's around this team, there's just a lot of negativity and a lot of poor misinformation, and a lot of you guys aren't educated in football like that to understand what's real and what's not. You said all this time, though you guys didn't say, the media said all this time about Ruben Bain's arms length and stuff like that has something to do with it. You watched the man dominate guys that were bigger than him the entire college. That senior year just dominated people. You think the same guys aren't going to be with the same intangibles in the NFL? It's just suddenly going to be different? Now, granted, a lot of athletes can't transition their game from college to the NFL. Bain seems to do so. You can check out these several clips of him doing that while he's dominating the starting top offensive tackle, Lou Gedeke. I'm going to just say dominate. He's making plays against him, and Gedeke's making plays against him. They're making each other better. That's just how the game goes. It's not just he's getting dominated, and people are going to try to sell you that. And in the draft process, people do those things to make players fall. So it worked out in Tampa Bay's favor that people were scared about Ruben Bain's arm length or whatever they wanted to say about it, and he fell all the way to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that was a position that they had to have, and they got it. That's just one thing. Ben Morrison is starting to become a concern. He's being out more and more. You had to deal with Jamel Dean's injury woes. I still would like to have Carlton Davis here, but that's the only strike that he had against him was because of his injuries. But otherwise than that, Carlton never backed down from playing the top corners ever and played well against them. Granted, he wasn't as fast as Dean and all of that, or lengthy as him, but the dude was a stud, man. The dude was a stud. He had his own opinions, and I guess Tampa didn't like that. So, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But Morrison's going to have to stay on the field. Tampa's went through this already with injuries. They just signed the young kid, Melifonwu, from out of Miami, who's a corner/safety. We'll see how he fits in here. But if you can't stay on your field, you're not going to be playing much. Your best ability is what? Your availability. And those are just some of the things that's going on in the camp. You're going to see the linebackers going to be fighting for who's going to be playing early downs, late downs, who's going to be on pass edge guys and interior, who's going to be internal run downs and then pass downs. Same thing with the secondary on guys who's going to be playing with the nickel, rover, safety high, or they're going to be playing in the big nickel that Todd likes to run with three safeties. That's where Melifonwu kind of comes in. Tyke Smith, and those guys like that. All those guys are interchangeable like that, and it's great to have that. And they do have a lot of versatility on the offensive line, too, with Big Ben stepping in and playing with not a lot of football behind him. They drafted the young guard out of Notre Dame. So you're picking up later round guys in positions just in case injuries happen, because a lot of those injuries, well, those guys stepping in for those guys injuries play big on your development. And later on, you got real live bullets thrown at you to see where you're at, engaged at, and what you can look at to get better. Same thing with Tez Johnson. Going to have a lot of wide receiver room is going to be really full. I'm really interested to see how it pans out. The tight ends are going to get a chance. Get to see these guys come out and play better with K-Dot coming back. Still would like to see Devin Cope, though, so what that looks like. And Payne Durham and all that stuff. So we'll see. Those guys will get a chance. They'll get a chance to shine. They'll get a chance to play. They've been practicing indoors a lot because of the rain. This is the rainy season in Florida. That's just how it is. But they're going to be practicing outside. Got a lot of work out in the rain. They're getting a lot of good work out of the backup, the undrafted free agent Daniels out of Kansas State. Interested to see how that goes. That's a position. Excuse me. That's a position that Jason Light, doesn't really spend a lot of attention on, is who the backup is going to be as far as quarterback. And then, the other tight end position isn't really keen on. Running back position, I like to see a little more beefier guys in there, because when that game against the Saints, I knew it was going to hurt them because they don't really have that ground and pound kind of back in the backfield. Now you need some type of guy like A.J. Dillon or somebody with a little ass behind them that could ground and pound in those rain games and have defenders slip off of them. I think they still got time. You can add some guy like that, and teams are going to cut players. But that's something I would like to see in that. What do you guys think of the camp? Do you think it's good? Do you think Bane's progressing well? I like to see more of the K part. I like to see a lot of guys with the backup roles and these guys, how they're fitting in and things like that. And we'll see. What do you guys think? That's what I think. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with this is entirely up to you. Thank you guys for always tuning in and watching. I'll just keep going with more and more. And that's it. We'll just keep rolling in with camp as it gets closer and closer to preseason. They got practice coming up with the Jets, and we'll see how that goes. So, tune in. You guys stay tuned, and we'll always be putting out more and more content for you guys to check out. And I enjoy giving it to you. I'll give you some breakdowns, looking at some tape actually from last year, and we'll see where they can get better. All right, guys. Peace.